And it goes a little something like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get you fired up for a Saturday with some phone plan talk. Cal, how you doing today?
I am doing good. Good to see everyone here. Good to see you, Rob. By the way, that intro was frozen for me. I don't know if it's me, my internet, beautiful internet connection at the office, or was it on our end, but maybe people in the chats can let us know. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm kind of torn because I got on another monitor, I got the Nebraska game going on right now. It's tied with 4 minutes left in the game. They're about to score, but we should have put this game away a while ago. So I'm on edge right now. You know, I want my Huskers to win, but otherwise, let me just start off. It's a good day. It's a real good day. Especially if the Huskers win. But I woke up this morning on about 3 hours sleep. I drove my boy to his final flag football league game of the year, and they pulled it off in the fourth quarter and they won. Exciting for him. It's his first year, and he was just phenomenal. He's 12 years old and he's 6'1". He's just a big kid and did a great job. And we got the space here today, you know. We got the space here. I get to talk to you, get to see all of our friends here in the community. And then people have been wondering, little humble brag here. People have been wondering about this countdown I've been doing for a while. And I counted down from
tell us what it is, Rob. What's the 5-hour thing about?
So I've been counting down days, and every day I've gone to work, I've counted down one more. At the end of my shift, I counted down to the next one. And last night was my last full day of work. Tonight I'm going in for 5 hours, and then I'll have I will be done at the end of 23 years as a police officer. I'm retiring at the end of the night. And so I'm very excited. You know, some people retire because they have money. Some people retire because it's time. And it's definitely time. It's definitely time. It's been a long time. And I'm very excited because what that means is I'll be able to walk into everything that my family's been building up for years. You know, it's we homeschool the kids. We have the farm. We have just things that we want to accomplish. It's hard to do when you know you're at work. And a lot of my coworkers, they're retiring when their kids are graduating college. I got to pay for college. But they also started a lot older, you know, later in life than me. And I'm fortunate that I'll be able to stay home and be with my kids as they grow up. My oldest is 12, you know, so I'll be able to stay home with the kids. But at the same time, it's not like I'm going to be doing nothing, you know. We got the alliance, Cal. You and I are building this alliance, and we got big plans. I mean, we got full-time plans for the alliance alone. On top of World Mobile, we got network builders that we're both planning on doing. We got Earth node operations that we're both doing. We got air nodes going on. We got Unity. I mean, there are so many things that are gonna be going on. So I'm gonna be a full-time dad and a full-time mobiler, and I can't tell you this, the relief, the weight that's lifting because of all this. And so again, looks like Nebraska might have just scored a touchdown with 3 minutes left. All these things are kind of coming up, Rob, right now.
When you retire.
What's that?
Same touchdown feeling. That's how it's going to feel when you retire. That same touchdown feeling.
I'm excited because we've been doing World Mobile for over 3 years, and as far as community stuff. And now it's like we're starting to see the fulfillment of a lot of the things that we when we jumped in at the beginning, when we first saw the the fishing village video, the smart village. When we first saw those videos, and we said, man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be a part of this. And it feels like we are, in some ways, right on the precipice. In other ways, we're already doing it. Not I don't want to jump ahead too much, but I want to just share something here. Oops, I'm sorry. That is the wrong. That's the next one. Airnodes. They've paid out $800,000 worth of rewards to Airnode holders. This is legit. This has been going on for over a year now. This is happening, and when World Mobile is real, it's live, it's incredible. And so I'm so elated to know that what we're doing, what we're a part of, being a part of this community and being followers of World Mobile, it has serious real world implications, and we got to be there from the beginning. And I'm just really excited going back just to take that next step into what's next in life after the police career is done. So again, that's why this is a big deal for me today. A very, very good day for me. I have 5 hours. I'm going to show up, do the timekeeping for my people, and then clean my locker out. And I'm moving on to World Mobile.
It's amazing, Rob. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what's ahead of you. You've done amazing things within the World Mobile community, and I'm sure that moving forward, you're going to do just as many more amazing things. So I'm looking forward to your success and what you have to bring in for the World Mobile community and for yourself and your family. And it's amazing. So congratulations. Thinking we might have a little special for you next week on the X Space. We'll do some fun. We'll figure it out. Yeah, you talked about Airnodes, $800,000 paid out for Airnode operators. That's absolutely mind blowing if you think about it. And it's been a very short time for these Airnodes to garner all of this payouts. I mean, we've actually also hit an all-time high for users, 2.5 million plus. We know that there is actually even more users that have not been onboarded, and the dashboard takes a bit of time to show these users. We saw an update on Token Terminal as well. There was a small issue happening there, and it looks like it has been fixed. At least when I checked last, we know that there is a full-on integration awaiting to happen with Token Terminal. So that's going to be something very exciting to see, because if you go into the ecosystem dashboard, there is a lot of information that gets shown there, that gets pushed onto World Mobile from external APIs, and being able to see that on Token Terminal and other like Explorers is going to be, I guess, a proving ground to show everyone in the Web3 space what World Mobile is actually doing, what they're capable of, and where things are headed. So that's going to be an interesting moment within World Mobile once that fully gets integrated. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah, I'm happy to break down some news with you, Rob. There's been a lot happening this week that we can talk about, and our spaces are not long, so maybe we should move on to the next topic. What do you say?
I think the next topic is we should just say hi to some of our friends that are here. I see. I want to first say hello to a co-founder. We have Andrew Soper here in the audience, watching and paying attention. I mean, honestly, I love doing this. I love being a part of this community, but it a little bit of extra motivation when you know that the team members are watching and supporting what the community does. And so I want to say hi to Andrew. And we see guys that especially people who have used our code for Unity, people that have bought the Unity node using referral ID Alliance. I see guys like FlipWhip that are here, Enso node. We got Dom
Aaron
here, and then Chad here with Decentral New Mexico, and I mean, there's so many. Dreaming Forest is here. You know, Eddie, RV, Coin Farah from Nuvola. There's so many people that are here every week. Paul H, Earth Path, Mr. Crabalot, who wrote an incredible write up for Unity. You know, so many people that support what's going on here, what we do. I see Friezo's here now. You know, it's really encouraging to see that we have so many people that tune in, because everyone's so passionate about what World Mobile's doing, and we love being able to share the stage and share our time with everybody. So hello everyone, thank you for all the support, and thank you for being here on the Saturday. You know, I understand if you're distracted with the last 2 minutes of the Husker game. No criticism there, but just want to, hello everyone, and thank you. But Cal, with that, what's up first?
First thing everyone should do is hit that like button and reshare the space. And also hit that subscribe. You know, we've been tracking down the numbers, and a lot of people have been listening to us, but they're not subscribing. And it only takes 2 seconds, guys and girls. So please hit that subscribe and help us get a few extra subscribers. That would really help somehow, somewhere. But yeah, next thing we should talk about is number porting, which is a very, very exciting and important thing that happened recently. I know that you have officially ported your number, as well as I did. And you mentioned Dreamin' Forest, who, by the way, also ported his number. And that was really cool to see. So, maybe give us some feedback. How's everything been so far? What the process was like? What you like? Maybe what you didn't like.
You know, I did it the day before they announced it, because actually you messaged me and said, "Hey, it's showing on the dashboard. It's showing that you can port your number." So I did. I bought some plans back in August, and I hadn't used them yet because I got a temporary number for testing. So I tested with that from World Mobile. I gave that back, and I had just been sitting waiting because I didn't want a Colorado phone number. I don't live there. I've had my phone number for 26 years, 25 years, something. And so I was just waiting, and I tried it, and found a couple of bugs that I was able to talk to Christian about. And he explained, yep, we need to just fix that for the user interface. For example, when you go through, you have to get a PIN from your company to port over. The only way they're going to give you that PIN and allow you to port is if your phone is paid off, you don't owe any debt to them for the phone or for your plan. I was good there. I got the PIN, and I went through and I plugged it in. There's one thing that said account. They want to know your account number at wherever you're at. I was at AT&T, but it said optional on there. I didn't fill in that box. It said because it was optional. I'm like, I don't want to go dig for that, so I didn't, and I got an error. It would not. It said you unable to port your number, and so I put in a help ticket. I also was able to chat with Christian Reese, who is heading up the U.S. support team. I believe him and Bridget are handling a lot of that. But Christian messaged back and said, "Yeah, I need to clear you out." All it was just in their system they had a rejected marker next to my phone number, so he cleared that checkout. He goes, "It says optional. We need to change that. It needs to be mandatory. You need to put your account number from your provider in there." So once I did that, I went through, and within 20 minutes it worked. It was without a hitch, no issues at all. Ported my number right over. So then later that evening, I went and I got my wife's phone and I did it. And after 45 minutes, nothing had happened. I got the email, or I got the text message from AT&T saying, "Hey, there's a attempted port of your number in progress. Contact us if this wasn't you." So I'm waiting, you know, mine went in like, I think it was like 10 minutes, maybe 15, but within 20 minutes, I was completely done. After 45 minutes, nothing with my wife's other than that initial thing. And Christian's like, "Hey, this could take up to 24 hours. So what's nice is as your number is porting, you can still use it. You're not locked out of your phone. You're not locked out of calling or texting people. It worked. And it took about 2.5 hours for my wife. And I don't know if it was just because she was with AT&T and I was with FirstNet, which is a first responders program by AT&T. but after 2.5 hours, worked like a champ. I did notice one thing that people might be frustrated by is you can delete SIMs on your phone, and I had one on both of our phones that was just showing a blank, and I was getting these kind of weird messages, and I'm like, why can I delete eSIMs but I can't delete this SIM? And it's because I had, you can see it, a physical SIM from AT&T in those phones. I just popped the side cover off, I pulled those out, and then I wasn't getting these error messages like, you're trying to call from a SIM that doesn't work. Would you like to use your remaining SIM? It's just an extra step. You have to hit yes every time I'd call my wife or call somebody else. I pulled these SIMs out, restarted the phone, no issues. That warning message never came up again. And so again, it's just, trying to figure out the best ways. Should you have Wi-Fi calling on versus not? Do you need to reset your network settings? Some people might need to, but it's just a matter of figuring a few things out. And what's nice is, as we're doing this, they're taking note of what we're doing, what we're going through, because right now it's still a small group of people who have got these numbers. They haven't pushed out to the masses yet, big time, So we're just figuring out what little things can use a little bit of tweaking, and it's working. And they're taking note, and they're making changes, and they're updating their FAQs, and they're updating their guidance. They're learning from us the things that we're individually, the edge cases, the individual things that we're experiencing. And I think it's great. I think it's a nice, proper rollout that has a glitch or two that we're able to figure out.
Yeah. Geez, Rob, when you showed that SIM card in up on the screen, I was like, wow, what is this thing? I haven't seen one of these things in ages, man. I've been an iPhone user for, I don't even know, for 10 years, ever since the first one. And there's been an eSIM on every single iPhone for the past, I don't know, 6-7 years, or I haven't had a physical SIM card in forever. It's all been eSIM. So when I see like an actual one, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that in a while. I always forget the SIM trays and everything that you have to like pop out and have one of
Right.
those little pins at home and keep it in your drawer, and like having to push it to get the
Well,
SIM. That's funny.
that's from an iPhone 13 Pro Max, right? So
Oh, wow.
we're talking, what, 3 years old? It's not like a super duper old phone,
Mm.
but it works. I haven't needed to replace it. The battery holds up like a champ. So why not? But yeah, that's what they put in when I got these. And in fact, I remember we switched phones the day before NFT Las Vegas, when we went a couple of years back. Remember switching right before we went to that. But yeah, like I said, it's not like it's the oldest thing in the world. It's not brand new, but I've always had phones with eSIMs, or with physical SIMs, and I kind of forgot about that because we're doing all this eSIM stuff with World Mobile now. But yeah, popped it out. Doesn't need to be in there because we have a SIM loaded on the eSIM loaded on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Interesting that
What's
your
your
phone.
what do you think so far? I mean, you ported before I did, and are you seeing what you're hoping to see so far?
Yeah, I did port. So most of you know me as living on the internet. So I was doing things, and I noticed that when you log into my World Mobile, there is now a switch to us link, and actually had posted about it on X. I took the post down just because I know that they were testing it. There was an issue initially. They fixed that, and then they brought it back on. And I just took the post down just because I don't want to hype everyone. And then they went into their dashboards and it wasn't there, and yada yada yada. But regardless, though, it's not live. It works. It's a very seamless process. I ran into 2 user errors, which were my personal errors, because I ported my entire family. Everyone's on World Mobile now. It works great for them, by the way. And shout out to Christian, man. Christian is absolutely amazing. I did open up a ticket through the ticket support system. He was the one who was assisting me, and he did a really, really good job. One of the user errors I did was when I ported my wife's number. What happened was when you port your number, Rob mentioned it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, which is normal, right? And she had 2 eSIMs, one of which was with AT&T, the second one was with World Mobile. And once your number shows that it's been ported, it could take AT&T or your legacy provider or whatever it is 24 up to 48 hours for them to release the number. So World Mobile does the request, right? And they've done their job, and then it's up to the legacy operator to release your number for whatever reason. Is sometimes it happens very fast, sometimes it doesn't happen very fast. So just be patient. It's not in World Mobile's hands. Now, what happened was I was the impatient user, right? And this is why I'm sharing the story, because it could happen to you. She has 2 eSIMs, right? And by the time AT&T ported to the correct eSIM and for her to get her number with the World Mobile eSIM, I accidentally deleted the World Mobile eSIM, right? And I was stuck with an AT&T eSIM. So when they ported the number, that was just like, just an empty eSIM with no service. So Christian helped me out. He was able to issue a new eSIM for my wife. She scanned it. Everything is great. So thank you for that. And then the second user error I did, by the way, because this could be another edge case that it could happen to you. My mom just recently got the newest iPhone, and she had her eSIM, the World Mobile eSIM, installed on her previous iPhone. She never deleted that eSIM. She just left it inside the iPhone, right? That iPhone was set aside, and she just installed her AT&T eSIM. I ported the number over, and the number went back to her old phone. So we were just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and 2 hours passed by and nothing was happening. So I started freaking out. I said, well, what's happening here, And Christian to the rescue again. He was able to figure out and help me understand that when you ported the number, it went back to my mom's old phone. So then again, she had to go back in, delete the eSIM, and then we were issued a new eSIM, and everything's good. But yeah, I personally like the fact that support's there for you. You can open up a ticket, and I haven't ported numbers very often. I've been with AT&T for like 15 plus years now, so it's not like I've been switching operators and jumping around porting numbers. Actually, I've never ported my number ever before, so I didn't know what to expect, right? But then again, also Christian has created a very helpful article. I did make a post. Rob, I don't know if you can go to Mac's account and showcase it. But yeah, it's an article that he created that literally walks you through each single operator and what to expect and how to request that PIN that Rob talked about. So AT&T, you can request it online. You can dial a number. I think it's like asterisk port, and then they send it over to you. And another thing I would like to mention to everyone is that once you port your number over from your legacy operator to World Mobile, you're technically no longer a customer of theirs, right? However, it's recommended for you to still call them and make sure that your data is fully deleted. You can request that, and that you're not going to be charged anymore, even though they're not supposed to. That basically is it. They're not allowed to interfere with your number porting whatsoever. If you call them and they start playing ball with you and playing hard, like that's actually not legal for them to do. So you're freely able to port your number, call them, let them know. It shouldn't be an issue at all. But yeah, this by the way, it's not the right one, Rob. We'll talk about this article. By the way, it was a really good article. I just finished the reading this morning, and I was like blown away. Shout out to WMTX lady, but we'll cover that in a little bit when we get to Unity. But yeah, the post is I'll send it to you in the private chat when I find it. But yeah, it's just an article that Christian wrote, again, that goes over every single operator. So worth reading it first before you port your number, just so you know what to expect. Of course, you can always reach out to the Alliance, me and Rob. There's a bunch of ambassadors from World Mobile that will also answer a lot of your questions when it comes to porting. So you have support. We're here to help you, and yeah, make sure you have a smooth experience and to fully come on board with World Mobile and get to experience a much better plan than what you had previously.
Absolutely. Yeah. The problem is you post too many things
I do.
on your X account and they're all really good. And so when I think this is what you're saying, and it's like, nope, Rob, that's like 15 posts newer than what I'm talking about. It's hard to scroll through it all because it's all you know, that's the difference between you and me is I have a personal account sort of, and then I have you know, my Trek account, but um you just have Clover. So everything you do is World Mobile for the most part. And we're on the Rob account. I've always posted different things. That's why people thought Rob's counting down to Unity. I'm like, no, I'm counting down to retirement. But so I kind of mix that up a little bit. But I wanted to highlight our friend Dario, Node for Good. You guys, if you're not following him on X, you need to. Dario is a great guy. I was able to meet him in person at Rare Evo 2025. He actually what he did was he reached out to me before Rare Evo 2025 and said, Rob, I want to buy 2 tickets for community members who need them for the Blue Man Group, our party that we went to after Rare. I bought 80 what did I call it, 85 tickets, and they sold out. Dario wanted to give 2 away to people who could use them. And I actually had a couple of people say, hey, I'm late to the party. I'd like to get tickets. I was sold out, but I had these 2 that Dario gave and was able to give them out to 2 great people in the community to go with us. Dario has bought 10 tickets, 10 GA tickets to Rare Evo 2026, specifically for the Alliance to give away one ticket per month until we get to Rare Evo 2026. So at least once a month, we're going to be doing a show. We're giving away a ticket, and the easiest way to win is right now in the comments, hashtag Node for Good. When you do that, what happens is, I'll share it here. This starts to auto-populate. And so right now we can see there are 2 people who have used it in the chat. Looks like our friend Chad did, and then Clover, you just did too. But now there's 3. And so
Hey, I want a ticket for Rare.
there you go. Let's do it. But Dario is Node for Good. He is focusing on helping provide education for people in the United States that need it by way of World Mobile, by way of his nodes. He wants to fundraise, and he started an organization to help others. And so, great guy. And here's the thing, you guys. Well, you already bought a ticket for Rare. Cool. Here's one that you can give away. Give it to your spouse. Give it to your best friend. Give it to somebody in the community. You know, God forbid you turn around, you sell it on you know, if you had to, on like JPEG store or something. But don't want to give too many ideas. But look, there's a lot of opportunity here, and Dario is doing some great things, and he wants to give back to this community that he loves so much. So please, guys, hashtag Node for Good in the comments on X or on YouTube. We tested both out last time, and doesn't matter where you're watching, wherever we're streaming live right now, you'll be able to automatically get entered once you type that in there. We'll do the drawing towards the end of the show. So thank you Dario in advance, and we'll pick a winner here in a little bit. So Cal, we talked about some of the metrics. You know, we talked about what is being built and some of the highlights with World Mobile. You know, you mentioned the all-time high in users with 2.45 million users within 24 hours that have connected to the World Mobile network. I mean, remember when we were at like 50,000 and we're like, man, this is growing. This is so cool. I mean, I think we were like 16,000 daily users when we were in Zanzibar. We're trying to get over that hump, and we hit 20,000. We were celebrating. Then we started adding on Pakistan very, very slow. We hit 50,000. We're thinking this is incredible. This is skyrocketed. The numbers that we have here, these are growing like crazy. Air nodes, we're seeing more air nodes deployed. We're seeing more people getting connected in locations all over. And so yeah, it's very exciting to see these numbers go up.
I'm looking at the dashboard right now, and we are up total revenue, by the way, from like network revenue and Asia USA, hardware revenue, all combined with affiliate, we're up almost 6,000% since inception of being able to track these things.
Wow.
That's close to $10.7 million. I like to round up, so almost $11 million. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Like, whoever doesn't think that Deepin is going mainstream, yeah, you don't know about World Mobile. It's crazy.
Yep, we're just seeing consumption's up, air nodes. We're gonna hit 100,000 here real soon. We're just trying to hit 1,000. Man, when we hit 1,000 air nodes, we thought we were kings and queens of the world right there. Like, we're growing, we're taking over. We're gonna hit 100,000 here really soon. That's really cool. And it's it's not just the team. I mean, we know that they're working super duper hard, but what they're doing is they're finding the right partners. They're finding the right people who have ISPs, who have telecom services, and they're helping them as well. This isn't just the World Mobile Network deploying. These guys are growing. They're finding people to grow with, and they're able to support other people. I was talking to someone the other day about air nodes, and I was explaining, how we're helping, and they said, "Well, why are you guys buying their hardware for them?" And I said, that way they don't have to put up the big towers and spend billions of dollars trying to connect their whole area, their whole country, everywhere that they're at, their states that they're in. They pay. I mean, maybe they're paying $2 a month. I don't know. I mean, those Spark nodes, we get $1.70 a month for every Spark node. So maybe they're paying $2 a month per node to World Mobile. We know that World Mobile only keeps a fraction of things, and they give the rest back to the sharing economy. And paying $2 a month for something is a heck of a lot easier to stomach than dropping $2 million on a tower and having to put up 1,000 towers. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity here when people realize how these partnerships work and how we can seamlessly affect the reach and the range of these other telecoms and internet companies. It's a no-brainer, and I think that's when you start to see the numbers really fly. It doesn't have to be World Mobile subscribers, but it's people that World Mobile is working with to push a service out using our network, our our proprietary information, our cores. There's a lot of opportunity there, and we know that people are desperate for it. So much so, Cal, you just forwarded me this link here. What is it? 48 roaming agreements signed. This was in was this in London recently, or where was this at, Cal? Rome, I'm sorry. This was in Rome.
Yeah.
They 48 new roaming agreements. And so we are connecting with other companies, places all over the world, people who say, "Hey, we need the assistance, we need the help. We like what you're doing. We want to be a part of it." It's a win-win for everybody. This is really cool.
I mean, all right, let's be honest here. Forget about the 48 roaming agreements. I mean, joke aside, but look at these ties, man. Like, how can you not love World Mobile? Who says that the yellow marketing doesn't work? I mean, are you gonna take someone serious with a black tie? You're gonna see these three guys with yellow ties and not want to do business with them? I mean, come on, it's a no-brainer. I love it. I want to get a yellow tie now that matches theirs. That looks super cool. Not gonna lie. But yeah, World Mobile, 48 roaming agreements. That's absolutely crazy. What you have up there is the very next air nodes that are going up for sale. We're getting another Spark air node drops. These drops are very frequent now. They do sell out very fast every single time. So there's a way for you to get on the early access list. It never goes to public sale anyways. But yeah, it still gives you that additional leverage to buy them early on. There's also a way which will hopefully get turned on soon if you're a subscriber to the World Mobile Network and you're participating in Premier Rewards. you're able to also get early access. That's one of the perks that World Mobile will offer, which I think is alone, it makes total sense for you to want to join World Mobile, especially if you're earning from these air notes. You've understood how lucrative and how what's the right word I'm looking for? How effective they are in their distribution. And so yeah, that's a good one next week. The 29th, 17 UTC. I think the 29th is, I don't have my calendar up, but I think normally it happens on Wednesday. Yeah, it is Wednesday. Yeah, so Wednesday the 29th. Timing hasn't changed. It's still the same. Everyone knows the process. Good luck to everyone. They're gonna sell out very quick. So I'm looking forward to that. You spoke a little bit about partnerships, and recently World Mobile did a partnership with Uphold, the exchange. Do you mind pulling that post up for us so we can discuss that as well? So Uphold, right, recently announced that XRP is joining their program, and people can use their direct deposit program and have their paychecks be sent out to Uphold instead of their direct bank account, so they're able to run XRP. And what's really cool is that Uphold decided to add WMTX as well as the ZBEC token, or ZBEC token, however you pronounce it, the ZBCN. And you can now earn up to 6%. I believe is a 1% for WMTX, 1% excuse me, for the ZBEC token, and another 4 for XRP. But that's cool because, you know, if you're in the United States and you get direct deposited for your Web2 job, you can now direct that, excuse me, direct deposit into the Uphold exchange, and you can earn an additional percent payback in WMTX. Makes total sense. I mean, to me, that's, you know, ways and adopt and ways for us to be adopted towards like Web3. Like you're starting to see these exchanges enter these partnerships, allow people to use their rails in order to get paid, to be converted to crypto, and to join this digital economy. So there's a lot of different things that are happening around their space like that. It's really good for them to include WMTX in this. It just showcases, you know, how big our token is getting, more eyes on the token. I mean, Uphold in general, it's a pretty big exchange. They're well known in the United States, and you know, they could have picked any other token, you know, and XRP is it's in the top 10. I mean, the fact that they went with WMTX just screams adoption right there in the United States. So that's really good to see.
Exactly. I mean, a couple of years back, it was a big thing when the couple of NFL football players were saying, "Pay me in Bitcoin, pay me in Bitcoin." People wanted that option. I think in the city of Miami, there was, I don't know if it happened, but there's talk that Miami city employees would be able to take up to 50% of their salary in Bitcoin if they wanted to. So there, we know there's places that have tried to do some adoption, and this just furthers those efforts, and it furthers that mentality of, I would like my salary, my paycheck to come here, and here's an option for that. So I think that's excellent. And you know, I've used Uphold. What's nice is Uphold is tied with the Brave browser, and we've talked about Brave, and you use Brave and you can get paid crypto for using the Brave browser, which is really nice. It's a nice privacy browser that doesn't share your information, and you can actually earn. And so I think I earned a couple of dollars. I think I had maybe $8 or $10 saved up from a couple months of using Brave. And when WMTX went onto Brave, I was able to trade that BAT token, the basic attention token, that I'd earned from using the Brave browser, and I swapped it right to WMTX, and it was super simple. It was definitely a nice perk because now I'm getting, in a way, I'm getting paid World Mobile token to browse the internet. So very exciting that they're not only just listing the token, but they're furthering that with here's how you can earn and here's how you can benefit from World Mobile Token. So I'm very happy to see this partnership continue to grow and expand. I see a comment here from Manuel. He says, I have some questions for you about Unity project. Can I ask that now? Absolutely. We want to touch on Unity here. It's one of our next points coming up. And so if you have some questions about it, hopefully we have the answers and we'd be happy to help there. We're very, very excited about Unity. In fact, there's as we talked about, oops, I'm sorry, our good friend WMTX lady, who's actually she couldn't be here today, but she's since she had run some errands, she's driving, but she is watching and or listening to the show. Hopefully, not while eyes on the road. Safety first, right? But wrote up a wonderful article here, and she is just absolute quality. She's a good friend of the show. We're very, very thankful for her, and everything she has to say is incredible. So if you're on X, WMTX lady is who you want to follow, and she writes incredible articles, and she just wrote a really good one about Unity that I believe just came out this morning. So definitely pay attention to that. Go check out that, and yeah, we're happy to talk about Unity. There's so much there that, I mean, where do you start? Where do you end? I think you end when you say it's time to go. But man, Cal, are you excited about Unity?
Oh my God. It's beyond excited. It's funny because I've have a few relatives that I've tried to explain what Unity is. I've had a few close friends that work in tech that I've, shared what Unity is, and they understand what Unity is accomplishing or what it will accomplish, but they just don't get it, and they don't see the potential here. And I think this article that WMTX lady wrote really breaks it down, and gives you perfect examples of as to why Unity will be the network that it will become, and share with everyone. This article is absolutely amazing. There's a few questions in the chat, Rob. I don't know if you want to get to them or not. Some of them are not Unity related. Some of them are. There is one. Let's see. Dominic says, "Can we beg Unity to give us that fiat option before phase 1 closes, please?" Yes. We as ambassadors for Minutes Network have been asking, or some of the ambassadors have been requesting for fiat payments to be turned on, and the team is working. It's taking a little bit longer for the payment processor to turn that on, but it will hopefully be turned on before phase 2 kicks off. It was announced recently that phase 1 is getting very, very close, right? We are going to have a space next week, a Minutes Network space, and I'm sure we get to find out, and hopefully we get to see it turn on Monday. But yeah, the team is aware. They know that there's a lot of people that are wanting to buy additional Unity nodes just because they want to take advantage of phase 1, and they're working hard to get that going. And I'm sure they're also listening to our requests and the space. So yeah,
It hasn't been people asking, ambassadors asking. It's been full on demanding. Like this needs to get done, and we know that Minutes, they listen to everything that the community says. They listen to what the ambassadors say. They go out of their way. I mean, they just did a 3-hour space last week. About a week, a little over a week ago. A 3-hour space where they went and answered every question. If the question came in, it was worded slightly different than the one before, but it was basically the same thing. They answered both. They want to do as much as they can to support the community, and they're aware that this isn't working in many countries, and they know that there's frustration about it. And I hope it turns on, because according to this post, round 2 is set to begin. They're going to stop things Monday at midnight CET, that's Central European time. So that's 7 hours in front of me. So you're talking 5 p.m. on Sunday. Tomorrow they're going to stop and go into a maintenance mode while they're preparing for round 2. So I don't know what that means. That means that round 1 is over. Round 2 is going to start when this opens up. Does that mean that Unity is going to go live and they're just going to announce, all right, let's go at it, go nuts? Don't know what they're thinking or doing. They've kept things very, very quiet here. And so we know that there's people that have some concerns. They have some requests, for example, concerns like, why can't I buy with fiat? I don't want to miss out on round 1, because we know that round 1 and round 2 will be different, better rewards, maybe better price for round 1 than round 2. And I wish that we had a better answer. I just know that they are listening. They're trying as best they can to get all these things handled while not delaying the release of Unity. So Manuel asked about the delivery process for the node NFTs and licenses. I thought they were delivered at the time of payment. No, they in fact, before it even came out, they said that you'll purchase these now. You receive an email receipt that is proof that it went through, and that they were going to be delivered in October prior to the launch of Unity. We don't have a Unity launch date yet, but I'm anticipating, if it's going to launch, so let's say it launches on Wednesday, I'm anticipating a Monday or Tuesday type of a node. NFT nodes are there right now, and get ready, because we're about to turn on the platform. I'm not saying it's this Monday, this Wednesday. I'm just being hypothetical here, but yeah, we believe that it's coming. They've stuck to it's happening in October. And they said that the licenses and all the NFTs will be delivered to the ETH wallet that you provided just prior to the launch of Unity. Don asks, how confident are we that Unity has the paying customers now to make running a node profitable as projected from the get-go? And again, they said up to the amount on the website. They talked about you buy a Unity node for $5,000, and then you get 200 licenses that go with that. And they said you can make up to $96 per license for the entirety of your Unity node. So that's up to $19,200 if you're making $96 per license per month. It does say up to. I personally don't believe that it'll be at $96 right from the get-go, day one. I think there's going to be a build, but we know that there are paying customers lined up. We know this is I believe this is a $400 billion industry for the services that Unity provides. And so they're going to be able to instantaneously, because the companies need this data, and so we're going to be able to take these jobs, that Unity, that the licenses get, and immediately turn that data over. Whether this is an ongoing thing where it's every job gets sent out, and there's an amount rewarded by the companies for every bit of information. If it's once a week, if it's once a month, that's a better question for Josh. But they did talk about how the revenue would turn on as these things go live. To what extent, I don't know, but we also know that not all Unity is going to go live from the get-go. They talked about that round 2 was going to start after, originally, round 2 was going to start after the launch of Unity at some point. So not all the licenses, not all the nodes will be active. So I think that'll help build the revenue, because that's a lot of expected revenue from the very beginning, like you're saying. But I think if there's not all the licenses in place, it'll still perform well, and just scale up as more licenses come on board. Now,
Right. Yeah.
am I saying everything right? Am I am I missing anything?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think you're right on point, right? I mean, in my opinion as well, like as any other network, I mean, there's probably going to be a bit of time for the network to scale. What we know that there's partners that's been mentioned, that there's been contracts signed, there's traffic that's going to come online day one when Unity node starts. So there will be jobs pushed to these devices, but we don't know the extent of it. Nobody knows besides the Minutes Network team and World Mobile themselves. But once it launches, we'll get to see what what are these companies, what traffic they'll push, how much revenue is each person going to be making. But I have high expectations here, and I have high hopes that this network will quickly scale. There is a question from Manuel. He says, as far as I understand, anyone with a smartphone can download the app and earn money. My question is, how do they get the license? So, well, there's two ways, right? So you can be an NFT operator, the Unity NFT operator. You're given 200 of these licenses. You can operate them yourself. There's people that purchased a bunch of phones. They'll run them themselves, and take 100% of the profit. Or should I say 75% of the profit, because 25 gets distributed to Minutes and World Mobile, but 100% of the profit for the operator themselves. There's a second way that you can give out this license, and that's through a sublease on the platform that will get released on day one with the app. So there will be a marketplace that you can put out your 200 licenses and lease them out to other people, right? And then you can create a digital contract which you pre-sign, and then the person who leases your license also needs to agree to. And there is, you can set the parameters in there. So how much percentage do you want to take? There's most people are talking about 50-50, meaning like you as the operator take 50%, the sublease also takes 50%. But then again, that's market will decide. What's cool that Josh mentioned that there will be some parameters initially, or guardrails, meaning there will be a minimum. So it's not like a race to the bottom, because if you launch something like this, and if you have an open market and everyone gets to decide what percentage without no guardrails, kind of like Cardano stake pools, like everyone goes 0% to attract delegation, works for some, doesn't work for others. Nonetheless, what happens, it's a race to the bottom. So good to see like that they've thought about this, put some guardrails, and allow operators to have the chance to earn money right off the get-go. So yeah, that's your ways. So you can either operate yourself or lease those licenses out in that marketplace.
And that being said, there is a cost with each of these licenses to stay active, and it's a monthly cost of starting out at $1.99. And as more jobs come on and more complex things come on that require more services, that can go up to $3.99 if you choose that option. My friend Dennis posted this. He goes, "Those with skin in the game try harder. There is a $1.99 monthly fee to run Unity. If a license holder pays the fee, they will do everything possible to get their money back and then some. If it's free, what does it matter? They have nothing to lose." Just my 2 cents. And I like this mentality. There's some people that I intend on paying that $1.99 fee for. But I originally was thinking, man, what are these guys? These guys that bought 10 Unity nodes, right? So now they have 2,000 licenses. And are they going to pay for all that? That's $4,000 a month that they would be paying out of pocket to get all their licenses onboarded. And it's like, how are they going to do that? Are they going to pick or choose? And I'm sure there'll be some that are doing it fully, some that'll be doing it partially. But I like Dennis's approach here, and he's talking to people. In fact, he found a really big market that he has access to a lot of people who are excited and desperate for this, and he's discussed with them at length how this works, and all of them they say, you know what, if it can bring the type of money over time that is being advertised, it's worth paying that $1.99 and splitting the fee with. So it's these are all things that the node owner will have to decide, like Cal talked about with the what percentage is split. You know, some guys are going to go out and sell their licenses off their node, not lease them out, you know.
Yeah.
And that's an option, and I've thought about that. It doesn't make sense to me why somebody would do that, but hey, you know, everyone's going to do things differently. But Callus Bling, he mentioned something that I really liked. He said, you know, Rob, if what's the value of this license? If they're saying these can make $96 a month, that means in a year time, if you're making 100% of the profit off of that, and it does indeed make $96 a month, that's $1,152 that you would earn in a year. So then imagine that. Let's just say you round down to 1,000, right? $1,000 for a license, and then you get 200 of these right off the bat with Unity. That's $200,000 if you're selling these licenses for $1,000, which is less than they would earn in a year. So I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying this is good ideas at all. But it's just, when you think along those terms of what the value is based on their projections, this is incredible. It's why would you not want to participate if you could afford it? If you could afford to do this, why would you not want to be a part of this? And that's one of the reasons where it's like, man, it might be too good to be true for some people. But the thing is, we know Josh, right, Cal? We know Mickey. I trust them implicitly, and they're my friends. And I've spent a lot of time with Mickey and Charles and Emmanuel and the World Mobile team, and it's like, again, you know, verify, don't trust, but I trust these guys, and I know that I believe in what they're doing. That's why I'm so in on World Mobile. That's why I'm so in on Minutes Network, and so that's why I'm encouraged by Unity. The possibilities there, if it works out. So again, we're not telling anyone what to do. We're just trying to chase down some of these narratives and try and make sense of them. And if they work and how they work, it's pretty exciting. It's a pretty exciting deal.
Honestly, if it sounds too good to be true for people, go read WMTX lately article, and then you understand where the potential stands, where you know, this network is going to be positioned. It's not only about verifying the grid. There's so much more. Like Josh talked about it a little bit on the space. He gave a little bit of the alpha, compared it to AWS and the layer they're building on top of the network, top of the telecommunication network, and through an API. So go read that article. You understand what I'm talking about, what she's talking about, and share it with all your friends that are interested, or you think that will be interested in Unity. And honestly, when it comes down to you know, distributing these licenses and getting the word out, you know, Minutes Network has an amazing you know, marketing department, marketing team that's going to do a great job. World Mobile does the same thing. They do great marketing campaigns, and I'm sure they'll also push this very hard. But it's going to come down to the community, and believe me when I say we have a large community. When you combine these two communities, Minutes Network and World Mobile, and everyone you know, starts telling their friends, word of mouth, you know, we are pretty powerful as a community. We've seen what we can do, and we can get the word out very fast, in my opinion. And when there is such high monetization involved, by simply downloading an app and, you know, covering your $199, whatever the cost is, and making that much money from it just for installing an app on your phone, it's a no-brainer. I have high hopes for this. Yeah.
And there's a couple of questions here about, Bitdano Dale here is asking a couple of good questions. If something goes wrong, like a data leak or something else, or a licensee, is a licensee or a node operator liable? And again, I'd say, because they've compared this to like Bitcoin miners, what we're doing is we are doing things on the network. We are not in charge of that data or how that works. So I can't give legal advice because I honestly I don't know, but I would lean towards the probably not. But this is definitely
Yeah.
something that I think
Well,
Josh and team
it's
should answer.
GDPR compliant, and they've mentioned that data it's never shared, so your personal data never leaves. They don't share any personal data, right? So there's no data to be leaked. And as a matter of fact, this is exactly what Unity solves as a network, right? When they're verifying the telecom grid, and I mean, the perfect example was given when AWS just went down. And the traffic couldn't get routed to anywhere, and it was just kind of stuck in and a bunch of websites went down. I mean, I'm the perfect example. I have a Web2 business, and I run a lot of everything I run is on AWS. So I was just sitting around. I called Rob. I was like, "Hey, I'm not doing anything today." I mean, like it's Monday. I'm supposed to be super busy at the office, and I'm just sitting there kicking back, because AWS is down. I mean, that's millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, I'm not the only business here. We're talking about hundreds of big businesses, corporations that are relying on these things. AWS themselves need something like Unity. Enterprises need something like Unity. They can literally route this traffic to Unity and bypass like the outage and not have this happen at all. But yeah, so there's a lot that goes into this, and it's going to be very exciting. So yeah, I mean, again, I don't think data leakage is an issue here because there's no data collected whatsoever.
Yeah,
There's another one.
I don't know that they would hold the miners, the people holding up the network, liable if there was something like that as well. So I think that, ask Josh to be certain, but I don't think there's something to worry about there. But that's a good question. Are you able to edit the share percentage or other metrics after the license is issued? I believe these go on a 30-day. I think it's a month thing, but you can stretch that out if you wanted to. So I would think that as you go on, you'd be able to alter, rescind. We know that you can rescind, especially if people aren't living up to the agreement. You can rescind that license and reissue it or relist it on the marketplace. So I think that it's probably, if you're going to edit or share those percentages or other metrics, it's probably you're doing a month to month type of a lease agreement or contract, and you could probably do it at the end of the time, just like any other contract. We do know there is a rescind clause in there if people are turning their phones off, they're not living up to the uptime. So I guess it's wait and see what the actual dashboard looks like, but I believe you would be able to do that in time. Kel, I wanted to talk about something here that we've discussed previously, but as more continues to come out, and just we were very, very shocked and blessed little over a week ago. Our friend Batman came out and he made a really, really nice post about us and said that, we've been doing a lot to support the community, and he wants the community to show some support back. And he wanted to buy a Unity node for the Alliance, not for Rob, not for Cal, but for the Alliance to grow this. Because we've been funding this ourselves. We've been buying the software. We've been paying for the merch. We've been doing all the things that we've been doing for the Alliance is just come out of our pockets, right? And Bob came out and he said, "Hey, I want to buy a Unity node that can generate revenue so the Alliance can grow and expand, and it's not coming out of Rob and Cal's wallets." And so he made this post and he goes, I'm gonna put half down. So Bob put down $2,500 for a Unity node, and pretty quickly, Cole stepped up, our friend Cole Summerall, and he said, I'm throwing $500 in. And then Jeff stepped up and said, he goes, Batman, I'm going to help you with this cost as well. And then Mickey came in and said, I'm going to cover the rest of it. And it was just a whirlwind. It was like in 8 hours, this thing was fully funded. And Bob made a really nice post because Jeff came out, our friend from Delta Nodes came out and basically met Bob at halfway and covered half of Bob's initial pledge. And so we just wanted to highlight these guys because they are putting their money where their mouth is, and they're definitely supporting what's going on to further this community. And we're thankful for everyone who shows support, who does things, people who are using our referral ID to buy their Unity nodes. Very, very, very thankful for that. And we're trying to highlight everyone that is letting us know. Some people don't want to be known. They want to they DM us and say, hey, I use your code, but you don't need to blast me on X and advertise it. I just wanted you to know. And we're seeing just a ton of love, a ton of support. And it's from people who are using these codes, people who are just sending us kind messages, and then people who are actually donating money, not for their own Unity nodes using our code, but just to buy something for us, which is I'm having a hard time even processing this still, just because it just seems so I wasn't expecting it. It's very, very, very thoughtful, very kind, and it's humbling, Cal. To me, it's very humbling to know that there are people that support what's being built here.
Yeah, the sharing economy is amazing. Everyone from our community is amazing. And I'm grateful that there's people like Batman and Jeff and Cole and Mickey as well for funding this. And again, I've privately messaged everyone, and we as an alliance will use 100% of these funds to empower the community back, no matter what. So there is lots of different things that we have planned. After obviously revenue increases from Unity and the network, and we'll make sure everyone's included, just as we did last 2 years ago when we operated the community ran booth at Rare. We were given a booth, and community stepped up, and a lot of people were there and helping, and people made merch, and we made merch, and it was all shared with the community. There is going to be a lot of these similar initiatives that me and Rob are thinking about, and that's a cool hat, Rob. I like it. By the way, you're so lucky to have that hat. I have the gray version of the hat, and I wear it all the time. And I like the blue version. Shout out to Mark. There you go. Shout out to Mark for making this. Is all community made, by the way. This is the beauty of this community. Like, there is so many great community members. And yeah, we're very grateful and appreciative of everyone. Rob, what do you say? Should we run the giveaway?
Let's just announce it one more time. So what we're doing is our friend Dario from Node for Good Foundation is giving away tickets to Rare Evo. He wants to. He's given the Alliance 10 general admission tickets to Rare Evo 2026, and we're going to be doing one a month up until Rare Evo. And so this is the first one. You need to type in the chat hashtag Node for Good. And you do this, and it'll enter. You see, we have 14 entries right now from people watching on X or on YouTube, and it'll pull from both, and we'll do the first giveaway here. But if you're watching and you have not done this yet, go ahead and just hashtag Node for Good in the chat. And but yeah, like I said, we'll be doing this once a month. The winner, we will be able to we'll contact you privately, and we'll make sure that this ticket gets sent to you as soon as Dario is available. He's actually, I think this weekend, he is in the middle of a move right now, so he's just cleaning up a couple of things, and but we, it's on the internet, so it's not going anywhere, right? You'll be getting this ticket shortly. Prana, already have mine. Good. I'm glad. We're excited to see you there. Great seeing you the last 2 years as well. If you guys don't know Prana, he's awesome. He does a great job, and great mobiler, great part of the community. Earth node operator, air node operator, and but Prana, and last year you brought your amazing wife with you. You know, if you don't have tickets for her, this be for her. Take this, enter it, give it to a friend, give it to someone who is in need of a ticket, somebody in your circle. Invite them, bring them into the mobile community, and bring them to Vegas. I mean, what more fun can you have there? So anyway, here we go. We're up to 18 now, 18 entries, and I think that we go 19. Good job, Aaron Node. Richard, my friend. All right, let's do it. It better not be Clover.
That'd be funny.
All right, hey, Aaron Node got in last second. Congratulations, my friend. We're excited for you, and I'm hoping you're going to be there this year. It'd be great to meet in person. We've chatted quite a bit backstage, and anyway, we have a general admission Rare Evo ticket, and I want to point something out about these too. What Rare does is they will upgrade you to VIP if you wanted to. You you pay the difference between the ticket. They have a set price. In fact, our friend Joshua from Stoic Node, he won the Joshua won the branding contest last year, and we gave him a general admission ticket. And this is when they were. I mean, they were what I think they finished at $300 before the end last year. We gave Joshua a ticket, and he actually upgraded his ticket through Rare to VIP. He just paid the difference. So I thought that was a very smart move on his part. But Aaron Node, hit us up on X. Just send the Alliance a DM, and we will get this facilitated for you. The nice thing is, you know, we're pals, know who you are, so scammers don't try anything that's not going to work. Hate those guys. Anyway, Cal, going for about an hour and 15 minutes here. Closing thoughts.
Trying to find that mute button. Just a reminder, closing thoughts. A reminder to everyone that Rare is running up on their discounted tickets, and they will close that down in December. So if you're looking to get your Rare discounted ticket, now is the time. You are also able to use the WMTX code and save that 10%. And if you pay with crypto, you are even able to get more of that discount. So as Rob said, we're going to be very excited to see everyone in person there. It is an event that you're able to actually shake a hand, meet someone in person from the Mobilers community if you've never been. It's a very, very exciting time, and there's lots of things that get planned around that. Surely you'll talk about them, but they have a new venue next year, and me and Rob are looking to involve the Alliance and different community members in even more ways than previously. So yeah, Rob, it's been another successful show. I'm looking forward to your retirement post, and I'm going to be celebrating this weekend for you. And we'll have a special space for Rob next Friday. Sorry, excuse me, next Saturday. I need more coffee on our X show. So if you want to celebrate Rob and his retirement and his full-time dad mode and mobiler mode, come through. We'll celebrate. Rob will probably celebrate the launch of Unity. I mean, Unity is scheduled for end of October. I mean, it's October 25th. There's 5 more days. Sorry, 6 more days, because there's 31 days in October, but 6 days. That's crazy. So we might get to celebrate the launch of Unity. There's lots of things for us to celebrate. Make sure you participate in that AirNode sale. If you're not, sign up, get that early access. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in, and I'm looking forward to our next space.
Yeah, man, it's again great day. Like I said, my boy got a win in his final game of the year. The Huskers pulled it off at the end. I get to spend time with you, Cal, and all of our friends here in the community. And then, like I said, after today, I'm going to be mobiler mode. full-time dad mode, stay at home dad and mobile. And so I'm looking forward to everything what that means. What that means is AirNet operations. It means EarthNet operations. It means I got some tokens, so let's get the number go up, right? Network builder, Hex Guardian, OG, right? Looking forward to all of those things. Oh, by the way, switch and validator nodes, Unity nodes. There's so many cool things here, and they're, like I said, just on the precipice, right? We're right there, and the scales are about to tip, and it's going to be a lot of reaffirmation, a lot of I told you so's, a lot of good things happening here because the sharing economy is taking off, and we got to be a part of it. And it's not too late to be a part of it. There's so many things that you can do, so many ways to participate. I'm going to the place around work is reset, so I'm gonna scan for points on the way home tonight. There's things that you can be doing every day to grow and to build, to get more information about World Mobile, about the World Mobile chain, about Minutes Network, about Unity. There's so many things that you can do to actively participate in it, and that's exciting. That it's hard to come up with new words. I feel like we've said so much because we're so enthusiastic about it. And again, like we talked about with the number porting today, there's glitches. There's things that both you and I experienced. Some of those were user error. Some of those were a hardware issue with the phones. But World Mobile is aware of these things they're fixing. Not everything is always perfect, right? We're not just yes men for the company, right? We're not even a part of the company. We're just fans. We believe in it, and we want to motivate and encourage people who are similarly along the same track. And again, I always say this, but we're all going in the same direction. We all have different ways to help, to benefit others, to show our unique skills and capabilities. And Cal, you talked about growing the alliance. We got 2 guys right now that we are building some pretty stinking cool things with, that we're hopefully going to unveil really, really soon. And that's just the start, right? And that's just what we're doing. And there's other people that are building companies, they're building protocols, they're building businesses under the umbrella of the World Mobile chain, under the umbrella of World Mobile, Minutes Network, Unity. There's so many different opportunities, and this is just the start. And it's hard to even think about what this all looks like because the future is so wide open and it's so big, and we don't even know what's coming. And when we think we do, it gets turned on its head upside down because it's so much bigger. So I'm glad to be here with everybody. I'm glad to be moving forward with everybody. And I know that many of you are very, very passionate about this, very, very excited for what's happening. We get to do it together. And tomorrow's a brand new day, and it's one step closer to what the reality is of having a sharing economy that moves forward and benefits ourselves, it benefits others, it benefits the people around us and the people that we might not ever see or touch or get to know. But we know that we're helping, we know that we're building, we know that we're doing things to make this world, to make our communities, to make our families better. So with that, I'm very thankful for all of you guys being here. Thank you for showing up, spending your time with us. It's just getting started, and we're all here for it. So until next week, like I said, if you need anything, we're around. Hit us up in the DMs. Feel free to reach out if we can help in any way. But just keep learning, keep growing, and we will see everybody next weekend. So Cal, thanks. Great show. Great job. And yeah, another one of the books. Very, very cool. Thank you everyone for being here. We'll talk very, very soon.
Bye-bye.
Gotta find the end button. There we go.